clean inputs.
Yeah. Anyway.
And with that, we begin Fanfiction Contempt Theater, hosted by SneakyDevil, joined by Max Force and Atin as usual. Thank you for joining us today. We have a little bit of a trend difference today, as we'll be covering a original fan-based fiction. Ha! Still technically fanfiction.
Aha!
Are you feeling happy there, Sneaky?
I am feeling happy that I managed to work that in there. Anyway, it's
what
a fan-based fiction. It's a Google Doc that's been sent to us. Original fiction, of course, but
dear friend Devil Spidey.
Yeah, Devil Spidey.
So let's get ready to take one of our viewers' hearts.
Twitter, what do you do?
I don't think you guys ever sent me the Google Doc.
Okay, I'll link it
again.
Let
me check. Google.
Okay, I'm dropping it back into our chat.
You say he's just gonna drop it again. It's easier.
Yep.
Yeah, no, you guys. I don't think you guys ever actually gave this to me.
What? All right, right off the fucking back. What is this fucking center-aligned nonsense?
Yeah.
Is this a poem or a story?
Okay, now hold on. We're not gonna tear into it immediately because we do want Devil Spidey to be here so we can actually accept our criticisms.
Okay, fine. I'm just saying, right off the bat.
But, however, to lower your standards, we will be starting off with this story.
Oh boy.
Gotta properly prep ourselves, you know?
So that everybody else looks good by comparison.
Okay, yeah, I don't know why. It looks like, for some reason, he's got a big-ass summary that's centered, and then the actual story is proper.
Yes.
I think...
We will be covering that when he shows up.
Yeah, we'll get to that later.
Yep. So this comes from the Just Fucking Stupid
I will name
pile.
my son after.
Yeah.
Okay.
So.
Oh boy, look at this! Oh, look at this artist.
The Just Fucking Dumb pile is going to be different from our normal pile. This is a while back we did basically a speed read of we just quickly went through the whole thing and we're like, this is fucking dumb, this is fucking dumb, this is where you fucked up, because it was just so stupid. There was no real point in like reading it out loud because the plot was stupid, the summary was just poorly done, or etc. Something that just set it apart from the rest of what we normally cover, of beyond just, okay, there might have been effort here but you failed, to this is just so dumb. Why did you ever think about even A, doing this, or B, writing it like this? Like, at what point in time did you take drugs that made you go, yeah, this is a good idea?
This is a great idea. No, it's not.
Anyway, so let us begin.
Oh, just popping open a nice beer there, I see. Getting ready for the pain.
I will name my son after you. Ever wondered how Thranduil got the idea for Legolas's name? Not actually at all, ever.
No, it's an elf.
Here is my version of what happens that includes magic and time travel. It all started 2 days before the journey to Mordor, and 2 hobbits getting a hold of Gandalf's staff, wanting to play wizards. This all backfires, and Legolas ends up sent back in time to when all the elf lords were just children.
Alright, so first off, I just want to say, wow,
as our resident Lotor knowledge hoarder, you're pretty much going to be handling all of everything that's fucking wrong with this summary.
Yeah, I was going to say, so first off with... okay.
Yeah.
Magic in Lord of the Rings. This is not D&D. You can't just sit down with a spell book, and as long as you're smart enough, you can figure out the magic. No. The only people that get magic are literal angels and the children of God. The literal children of God. The elves. And the elves don't even get a lot of magic. Like, they basically have almost none.
Yep.
Now, you say, oh, but Sauron did magic. Sauron is a dickhead angel. Gandalf is an angel.
Not
Saruman is an angel.
Not only was Sauron
literally
a dickhead
every
angel.
single one of the wizards is an angel.
Yeah, not only was Sauron an angel, he was also being empowered by one of the people that created the universe. Or world, or whatever. Directly. He was getting power directly funneled into him. So.
Where are you getting that from?
Shit I remember reading in the Silmarillion.
I don't recall that. I mean, Melkor, the chief archangel, essentially. Melkor is Satan. Like, that's the best way to put it. Melkor is literally Satan. He did, like, give Sauron a power boost.
Yeah, that's what it was, yeah.
Yeah. But, yeah. So, you had that whole nonsense. So you can't just pick up a wizard staff and do magic. That's not how that works.
Yeah, you need your wizard hat first.
Exactly. Also be an angel. And then,
Minor prerequisite.
then of course, time travel.
Yep.
There has not ever been time travel in Lord of the Rings. There has never been any method even suggested for, because no one's ever even considered it, because it doesn't happen. Now, I understand this is a fan fiction, but if you're going to do it, your time travel explanation of Lord of the Rings better be a fucking hell of a lot better than two goddamn hobbits
playing with a wizard
Gandalf's staff.
Yeah. I think the main problem here, for me at least, is that every other form of magic that we've seen in the various stories and games and etc. does, usually, at some point, talk about time. Lord of the Rings doesn't. Ever.
Yeah.
Ever mention time. At all.
There's something.
Like, Harry Potter's, there's time turners, so it's confirmed that time magic exists. In Familiar of Zero, it's across time and space the portals bring you, so technically time travel's also possible with that.
Oh, you said, yeah, no, because it's across time and space.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
You know, you got, fucking... D&D, obviously, time travel. Final Fantasy, I'm pretty sure time travel was involved in one of the games.
Time travel's been all over those games. You know, you look at something like Skyrim, you do time travel.
Wheel of fucking Time!
Yeah, Wheel of Time doesn't have time travel, specifically. It just has people getting reborn.
Yeah, okay,
There's actually no time travel in Wheel of Time.
But would there be a basis of, say, someone traveling backwards instead of forwards?
Well, I mean, the people don't even technically speaking travel forward.
I know, they don't travel
no
forwards, I know, yeah.
I mean, I'm sure there's magic in that universe. They literally have teleportation magic, so, and it has been... So
you could always do that hand wave.
Well, no, I was going to say, literally, there's a thing where people are like, if you don't do the quote-unquote magic weave just right, bad shit happens. So you could just form the teleportation weave wrong, and boom, time travel. I gotta be right back. Gotta take this call real quick.
Okay. I guess I'll continue then. As, Ant was saying, the staff isn't what's magic about the angels / old men wizards. The staff allows them to channel their magic, and I'm not quite sure why that's the prerequisite, but but it is.
It's not strictly speaking a prerequisite. It's like Harry Potter. It's a focus. Now, it's a lot more necessary for them to have a focus, but like when Gandalf calls lightning to his sword when he's fighting the Balrog, he does not have his staff.
Yeah. Like I'm saying, it's like really gray area with the whole staff thing. It's like there's been areas where it's shown that yes, they do need the staff and it is important for their magic, but then, you know, you have the Gandalf Balrog fight where the staff wasn't there and he was still using magic.
He's like, oh, hold on, I'm gonna summon lightning to my sword.
Yeah, so it's like, but at the end of the day, staff doesn't make the magic. It's the angel that makes the magic. So,
as you say, yeah, it's the angelic being. And people now, I'm sure there's someone out there going, oh, but what about the Balrog? It's all on fire, and it lights its sword on fire. Balrogs are, just like the orcs are fucked up elves, Balrogs are fucked up elves.
I thought Balrogs were fucked up angels.
I'm sorry, yes, fucked up angels, that's what I meant.
Yeah.
Because the only ever, bear in mind that the wizards in Lord of the Rings are all, like, tier 3 elves, like, as far as not elves, Jesus Christ, I keep saying elves. They're all tier 3 angels. Yeah. Like, as far as angelic beings go, they are scraping the bottom of the barrel.
Yeah.
And so is Sauron. Sauron is the only one that ever willingly joined the Dark Lord. The other ones had to be tortured into it, and because of that, they became Balrogs. Just like there aren't ever actually any elves that are like, yeah, sure, we'll go work for Satan. They have to be tortured.
Into orcs.
Or at least the first generations of them. I don't.
And then they got born from mud from then on. For fucking some reason.
Well, I mean, no, if you're talking about the Uruk-hai, Saruman was like, hey, we made some pretty good orcs by fucking up elves. What would happen if we fucked up men the same way? The answer? Uruk-hai.
Better orcs, got
it. Technically they're better. They are stronger and less cowardly, but they're also stupider.
Yeah.
So you win some, you lose some.
Question then, where do goblins come from?
Goblins is literally just another name for orcs. Like, orcs and goblins are, for all intents and purposes, the same thing.
No, but see, I mean, I'm remembering the Hobbit movie because it's been so long since I've read the book. But they made a clear distinction between orcs and goblins in terms of how they looked and how they acted.
I mean, they live in different areas. They aren't actually that different. Like, we know they aren't that different because either orcs or goblins trigger Sting to glow blue.
Yeah, same origin, I guess, but the goblins are like smaller and they're like weaker and more numerous, and the orcs are bigger and smarter.
But again, the orcs aren't that. I know what the movie showed, but
yeah, I know. See, that's what I'm saying. Like, I've read the book.
Yeah,
back in like 3rd grade.
Yeah, but again, it's one of those things. Like, there's not that big of a difference between them. Like,
yeah.
Okay, goblins might be a little scrawnier, but that's because they've spent all their time running around the fucking mountains.
Yeah, yeah.
So being scrawnier is useful. They're not that much weaker. They both still fucking hate sunlight. They're both still cowardly as shit.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like.
Anyway, so we've pretty much covered the summary. There's no time magic that's been ever specified in any of the Lord of the Rings books, any of the Hobbit books, any of the Silmarillion, nothing. There's no indication that time magic exists at all. B, hobbits playing with a staff produces nothing.
You know what it produces? A pissed off wizard.
Yeah.
It would be like, stop fucking touching my staff. You know what? For this, you don't get any goddamn fireworks.
Oh, yeah. And even then, there would be no backfire to occur, and Legolas, they wouldn't accidentally cast time magic on Legolas. If the fucking angels can't even figure out how to do time magic, then I'm pretty fucking sure two fucking hobbits who are just swinging it around, shouting words, which is probably what happens here, wouldn't activate the staff.
Especially because they don't have any goddamn magic.
Especially because words don't fucking do magic. In Lord of the Rings,
goddamn angel does.
Words don't magic. But anyway, so yeah. We're not gonna actually cover this story because, like I said, this is just a fucking dumb story, and there's no real point in covering it beyond just like pointing out how
we're not gonna be reading this.
Dumb the idea is.
Like, we might skim through it. Like, I'll say this just without reading this. This person at least appears to have a correct grasp of grammar, spelling, and punctuation.
Yeah, and dialogue, it appears as well. But, like, characterization, who knows? Obviously, all the elf lords are going to be completely OOC, and the author's going to write them however the fuck he wants, because they're all kids.
I was going to say, which, first off, again, they didn't spend their goddamn childhoods together.
Yeah.
I mean, sorry, they didn't.
Glorfindel.
Yeah, you leave Glorfindel alone. He died to kill Sauron.
Glorfindel.
But it, like, Elrond and Glorfindel might have had some interaction, but Thranduil wouldn't. Listen, Thranduil's dad was a racist asshole. Thranduil is a racist asshole. Mirkwood elves almost never leave Mirkwood. That's why when Legolas, the prince of the Mirkwood elves, showed up, it showed how fucking seriously Thranduil was taking it. It's like, oh, well shit, even the KKK showed up for this. I guess we better pay attention.
The KKK. So the EEE?
I think it'd be more like the MEE. Mirkwood Elves Elitists.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Me! Hey, yeah, it even works for them. Because they're fucking...
I know!
You guys having fun?
We're having a giggle, mate. Alright, so, the next story, I have linked it to you guys, Heir of Deathwing, by fan of Fanfics 21.
What on earth?
By the way, Double Spidey's just chilling silently in the chat for some reason.
Is he?
He's on the chat list now.
How do you even check that?
Oh, yeah, no,
viewer list. How about that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my god, Sneaky.
Interesting. What?
Anyway.
And in his defense, he doesn't sit there trying to just press random buttons when he's bored. He just goes and reads a book or something.
Yeah, just like, fuck it, we'll read something.
I mean, I push buttons when I get bored, but...
Let's see. He has written 27 stories. Oh my god, so edgy. Gender, male. And if there's any gay guys, I accept you as a friend, but if you try to make a move on me, you're a dead man.
Okay. Hey, Sneaky. Methinks he doth protest too much?
It's possible.
I was, back in high school, I made it very clear, I don't care if you're gay or something, but if you flirt after I've already informed you, I probably will smack you.
Yeah. Wow.
I don't think I've ever seen
one of his pet peeves. Before. He's listed one of his pet peeves as unfinished fanfictions.
How many of his fanfictions are unfinished?
All of them.
Hey!
What is his highest chapter count? What is his highest chapter count? 48 chapters. Shinobi Lassie, Storm of the Revolution.
Oh god. Oh
wait,
god,
is that a
no.
Final Fantasy crossover?
No.
With Naruto, yeah. Naruto and lightning.
Code Jurassic. Lelouch of the Jurassic R evolution.
Okay, so correction. What? He does have one completed story.
A goddess as my wife, Neptune. Naruto and Hyperdimension Neptunia.
Oh my god.
Cypher
okay,
Extra.
Here's my thing. Look,
Naruto
I don't normally make fun of people for their crossovers. I don't normally make fun of people for liking things. But you've written a crossover with Final Fantasy 13. That implies that you both enjoyed Final Fantasy 13 and think it's worth writing about.
And included Lightning as a character.
Now, to be fair, no. I can understand why you'd pick Lightning as a character. Because it's impossible to write her out of character, because she doesn't have a character.
That's true.
Oh, Sneaky, I think that, oh yeah, he did 3 crossovers for Naruto and Final Fantasy 13, all of them titled Shinobi Lassie with some sort of subtitle after them.
And, okay, so Storm of the Revolution was the only one he finished then.
I was gonna say, and not a single one of them's finished, which is fucking sad.
So Siblings of the Paradox wasn't finished.
Wow, this asshole even tried to cop some interest off of Deus Swiftblade's story, Bodyguard of Azula.
Anyway.
Which is actually an amazing Naruto Avatar crossover in which Naruto washes up on the shore of the other side of the world, which is implied to be the Avatar continents.
Okay.
And washes up on one of the fire islands that Azula was on.
Anyway,
yeah.
That's not what we're here for.
No, it's not. We're here for trash.
To mock this, first of all, blocks of text.
Yeah.
I don't care if you don't have any dialogue.
Wait, what the fuck? Split into 3 pieces, 3 incarnations.
Oh, you just saw that.
Okay, so so he wrote a tri-story. So there's Heir of Deathwing, which is the story of the Yin part of Naruto. There is Rise of the Dragonborn, which is the story of the Yang part of Naruto.
So where's the 3rd part?
He just gave up and never finished it.
No, he probably started it. I'm looking for it
there
right
it
now.
is. It's Void of Vengeance. It's a Naruto Kingdom Hearts crossover. Okay.
I
think,
what the fuck is Cypher Naruto?
Wasn't that the Naruto Fate Stay Night thing, or is that a different thing?
No, that's Cypher Extra is Cypher Naruto gets summoned into Fate Extra. No, sorry, Fate Stay Night, Fate Extra.
Is it Cypher Legend? Time flows without pause, its course can be changed. When Cypher incarnations of Boruto and Himawari... Okay.
No.
Wait, what is Cypher then?
Where is... We gotta find Cypher Naruto.
Cypher Origins? Is it Cypher Origins? This is a tale of a boy born from twisted science dragged into an ancient war doing chaos and order. With his only sister, Naruto
with White Lily begins, like... See, he is doing the absolute most infuriating thing. He's starting a shit ton of... He's starting, like, this wide-ranging series, right? That starts with Cypher Naruto, and you know, branches off into...
fucking one of them.
Yeah, not only that, it branches off into a story about Cypher Hinata, into a story about their Cypher kids, and then post Cypher Naruto existing, it breaks off into 3 stories about 3 different parts of Naruto about going to reunite in the end, which will conclude in another story. So, like, he started books 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 15 all at the same time. And didn't update any of them past, like, 3 chapters in.
Fuck, man, that's like Blaze Blue levels of shit.
And like I said, like, we wouldn't be taking such umbrage with this if he wasn't like, my biggest pet peeve is incomplete fan fiction.
Yeah. God.
That is literally the only reason we are taking this fucker to task for it.
I mean, it's not only that. It's like he's also done the Shinobi Lassie series of stories that are supposed to be like Shinobi Lassie Siblings of Paradox is a continuation of Shinobi Lassie Storm of Evolution. History abhors a paradox as Shana Uzumaki, the twin sister of Naruto Uzumaki, lives in an alternate timeline alone. Now granted the powers to travel through time with her abilities, new friends, adventure awaits her in a tale that is forever frozen in the crystal as a family reunion awaits?
I don't care.
What?
I just do not care.
I'm still trying to find the fucking origin story of Cypher Naruto.
Who cares?
Whatever.
It's
okay.
Trash.
So I guess we're gonna cover all 3 of these stories then.
Oh God, why are we gonna do that to ourselves?
Why?
Well, I mean, not even like. Have you guys looked at the first chapters of some of these? They're fucking short as hell.
Oh, we're gonna read these. Okay.
Scroll bar is big, but that's a lot of text.
Huh. Alright, so this is the story of the 3 parts of Cypher Naruto, which we're still not able to find out what makes him cyphery.
Or what that even means, but okay.
Yeah.
I hate when Twitch channels have trouble keeping streams up, because every time it comes online, I get an alert for it.
Oh.
Sorry. Yeah, I've gotten like 4 alerts in the last 3 minutes. Evo 1 is streaming Smash Melee. It's like, stop telling me who's streaming. Whoever's running the stream, go fix your shit now. No, I didn't mean to do that.
Devil Spidey, why do you not say anything? See, what I'm really confused about, you say Devil Spidey's in the chat, but it says 0 viewers. So I guess he's paused the stream?
It says he's a viewer.
Yeah?
Really? Because
anyway,
the dashboard's telling me no one's watching. But anyway.
Maybe that is what it is. Hang on, let me unpause the stream on my end. What's the dashboard say now?
I'll tell you once it updates.
Well, okay, here's the thing. If you had the stream paused, it still listed you as a viewer.
Well, yeah, that's because I'm pretty sure that list is for people in the chat. Like, hey, here's people that are on this page in the chat right now.
No, I'm still getting 0 viewers. That's weird. Anyway.
No, well, I don't know. Maybe it's because we're friends or something. I don't fucking know.
Yeah, I don't fucking know, man.
No, come back.
Okay.
Second.
At Devil Spidey. It doesn't say he's in the chat when I'm trying to add him.
Yeah, whatever. We'll just keep going.
Did he leave the viewer list? No.
Guys, doesn't matter. We'll just keep going with the trash for now.
Yeah, I know. It's just something I want to figure out, you know? I want to know if it's not streaming properly or something.
No, and this is the, like, IT/engineer and me and Sneaky. I shit you not, I spent an entire 4-hour shift troubleshooting the fucking journal logs and concluding that whoever programmed the damn thing was an asshole.
Okay, yeah, no, I mean, it's sending out the stream properly. Oh, and now it says I'm viewing this. I don't know, is it saying it's me viewing the stream? I don't know. Whatever. Okay, the 0 has updated to a non-zero number. I'll accept it.
Fair enough.
Yeah, split into 3 places, blah blah blah, Yang version of Naruto as Tenryu Uzumaki, the light of Naruto's heart. Oh, how fucking... I don't want to say edgy, because it's not edgy, but it's just so...
Overdone?
Unoriginal? Unoriginal. It's not really cliche, it's just unoriginal. The faces a war that threatens the balance of the world as the dragons have returned to bring chaos upon all. Will he succeed, or will the black dragon, Alduin, devour the world? Sorry, I'm allergic to bullshit. I'm gonna say no, he will save them all, because A, it's a Naruto story. B, it's another part of... It's part 1 of 3 parts of a Naruto series you're running. And because you've actually published future parts of this series, you're sort of implying Naruto recollects himself at the end. Which means that in all 3 of these stories, none of them will fail.
Yet another problem with what you've done.
Yeah, that's the key part of, like, doing flashbacks and shit. I mean, I did a flashback. I'm not saying don't do flashbacks. I'm just saying, when you do flashbacks, you're kind of already... You take the tension out of it.
Well, yeah, I was gonna say that's the problem with the flashback. Like, unless you clearly make it clear that they're thinking about a flashback, like, you can't put any suspense in it because, oh, Naruto was standing there, Naruto. I meant to say Harry, but you know what? Fuck it. We'll just say
Naruto or Harry. Yeah, it doesn't matter
because you know what? I'm sure someone's done it. Naruto was standing there facing off Voldemort, waiting for his wand to backfire, and when it did, no one is surprised because everybody fucking knows what's gonna happen. He's alive. He's remembering it.
Yeah, it's just like there's no suspense. I've seen people try to do it though before, which is why it makes me angry. Because I've seen people be like, oh my God, is he gonna die? And they're trying to like write this really tense scene, but it's in a flashback, and it's just like no, they all get out okay because they're all there before the flashback. So clearly, everyone that's in the flashback that's in this dire situation is going to be fine. Unless, like, the flashbacks, they all fucking die, and a necromancer comes along and resurrects them as his slaves or something. I don't fucking know. So, you know. Anyway. An excruciating pain as your very soul was being split into 3 halves by force was nothing to enjoy for Naruto Uzumaki as he felt parts of himself separate into the 2 dragons bound in chains. See, this is the problem I'm talking about. I don't know the first part of this story. So, not only am I confused as all fucking hell, because this is obviously a Naruto AU, I'm instantly turned off from the story, you know what I mean?
I mean, yeah. Well, again, part of it is
and
we don't know what's going on.
And, like, even going to his, even going to his profile and typing in the word Cypher and going to everything that's highlighted under Cypher, I still couldn't find the original story that had Cypher Naruto into it. So it's not like I can even find part 1 to see what the fuck's going on in this.
Yeah.
Anyway. One that was white and angelic with beauty, while one was black and noble. The captors laughed at his defiance as he now faced an inevitable peril as he was cast into the abyss to burn forever as other parts of his soul would be used for the wicked god's twisted plots. Like, this is the extreme Naruto AU.
Well, not even that. We're getting some massive edgelord alerts here.
Oh, man, good point. I should put edgelord up. Boom. One day he will return to reunite with his other parts and make them pay.
I was about to say, and here comes the edginess.
Yeah. Tenryu Uzumaki watched as his former self as Naruto. What? Watched as his former self as Naruto? That's really confusing. No, I understand what he means. His former self, Naruto, being thrown in. That's a very confusing way to say it.
No, I'm sorry. Yes, I understand what he's saying. He's doing it badly.
Yeah.
Very badly.
He and his black dragon other, Naraku, struggled in their restraints and defiance. Take the heavenly dragon to the heavens. Will have it trained to follow the ways of light and all that is holy. See, this is what I'm confused with, right? Oh shit. Yin and Yang are very specific things in both Japanese, Taoism, right? That's Taoism? Yeah.
I think.
Yeah, Taoism. Taoism? Whatever. Spelled with a T, pronounced with a D. I think it was how it went. But anyway, they're very specific things. They represent very specific things. In Naruto, they still represent those specific things. They also just happen to have a physical manifestation known as yin chakra, the yin power, yin energy, yang energy, which you mix to form chakra. Yin being mind, which is one of yin's features. It's also gentleness, femininity, that stuff. And then yang, which is body, which is masculine, which is aggressive. The holy dragon, if you're going to be following this, would be the yin dragon, which would be white in this circle. Because yin is white, represented by the white. Yang is represented by black. Last I checked. Not an expert on this. That's what I remember. So, just say if you're going to have, because obviously we know the black dragon is Deathwing, or the heir to Deathwing, or whatever.
Some nonsense like that.
That would make more sense to be the yang aspect. The body aspect.
I was gonna say, I don't know, author. Did you ever fight Deathwing? Did you ever read any of his fucking dialogue?
Yeah, apparently fucking not. But it's just like, no, I have a problem with all of this. But my biggest problem with it all, beyond it's just silliness and him not finishing it and just it's generally being bad, my biggest problem with it is the fact that he got yin and yang wrong for which dragon is represented by which. So, not only is the idea dumb, he didn't even do it right in the first place.
Yeah, which is insulting for an entirely different set of reasons, but still insulting.
Yeah. Wicked Gods, Deus. Wow. The leader of the Wicked Gods was named God. Man, that is some original fucking content there. Oh, god damn. 10 out of fucking 10.
Why are we reading this again?
Because, I don't know, I'm probably just gonna say fuck it, just go through the beginning of all three and just see how fucking stupid they are. Blah blah blah, Naraku called out, Mental Link, tried to break free. For the
record, why is Naraku in here?
I don't know. Cause it sounds like Naruto. I don't know. He was like, oh, what word sounds like Naruto and is evil? Naraku.
Gotcha. Glad to know. When does Inuyasha show up to save him?
Right after he finished his fighting at Helm's Deep with Master Chief.
Right, of course. How could I forget?
Called out gods taking him to heaven, laughed. These days, he was gonna beat the smug bastards' faces in. As Naruto himself, blah blah blah. First step to breaking out is to letting them think they won. Heard the prayers and was heeding his call. The dragon god spoke to him, I'll let you be free, drink my blood, receive my blessing, and he gets sent into Skyrim to fight Alduin.
This makes no fucking sense.
Yeah, this makes no fucking sense, because if you've played Skyrim, and actually investigated the lore of Skyrim, if you actually investigated the lore of Skyrim, Alduin is doing exactly what Akatosh wants him to do. In the end.
Yeah. In the end, yes.
Now, Akatosh wasn't exactly like, hey, you should go rule over the humans and, torture them and shit. Akatosh really doesn't care that much. that he did that. Akatosh is more like, hey, you should kind of do your job, which is destroy the world.
And he's like, alright, fine, if you're not gonna do your job, motherfucker, I'm gonna give the humans the power to beat the shit out of you. And they're gonna do it.
No, it's not even that. It's because the Aedra believed in that whole thing of if the world doesn't want to die, they should have the right to fight for it. But at the same time, the world does need to die for the next world to come. So we're going to produce both. We're going to back both sides in this. If the world succeeds in fighting off the World Destroyer, then the world gets to live until the World Destroyer comes back.
It's like, and they're going to have different... There's not going to be, like, a proscribed method for you must defeat him this way or you cannot get rid of the world, right? Like, it's like, oh, cool, you cast him out into time? That's a great way to deal with him. We didn't think of that one. Oh, cool. The Dragonborn killed him? That should keep him away for a while.
Yeah. Like, literally, Akatosh is the god of time. If he wanted the world destroyed, he could have just been like, yeah, he's back in time. He doesn't want the world destroyed, he just wants the duty to be done. Either way, either being defeated by the last Dragonborn or destroying the world. Yeah.
Now, to be fair, I can understand why Alduin wouldn't want to do his job. It's pretty much built-in obsolescence there.
Exactly, yeah. Here I am, mortals. Now it's fine. Cool. But yeah, so this is insulting to me because Akatosh would be like, "Oh, you gotta save my world." He doesn't fucking care. The Daedra don't care about the world. The Aedra don't care about the world. The only Aedra that genuinely cares about the world is fucking Talos, and that's because he used to be immortal.
And even then, he's a pretty loose care.
Yeah, like Akatosh, if he cared about the world, would have done something with the whole Oblivion Crisis. It took, literally, his heir, Martin Septon, because of the whole blood right they had going on between Akatosh and the Septon line, it took his heir sacrificing himself to banish Dagon. He's like, okay, this is an acceptable sacrifice. I shall banish Mehrunes Dagon for you.
Now, to be fair, there was also a component of, I fucking hate Mehrunes.
Yeah. Not many people like Mehrunes. You didn't miss too much, Devil Spidey. Is the stream down again? No, stream is not down. I think Twitch is having problems. Hello, my clone from Twitch.
Talking to yourself, Devil Spidey, it's not healthy.
Started today, guys. Twitch is probably going to be having problems.
Yeah.
Like, they've got streams split across at least 8 different things, each of which is like
Amazon's got to get its shit together.
Minimum.
Anyway, the only thing you've missed so far is we covered a really fucking dumbass story at the start that involved time travel, hobbits, wizard staffs, and Legolas.
And we were like, this is stupid. Here's why it's stupid. The end.
Then we got to this story, and this guy started like 21 different stories. He's only actually completed one of them, but like, I would say at least 15 of his stories are all part of a series that he's only written 3 chapters each for. And like,
and guess what?
90% of them are dead.
And one of our favorites, one of his pet peeves, is unfinished stories.
Yeah. So yes. So we've covered Rise of the Dragonborn. It's dumb. Moving on. This is Naruto Kingdom Hearts, where apparently Naruto's a nobody or something.
Oh my god, why are you reading this?
Split into 3 pieces, Cypher Naruto must deal with his own perils as Turanox Uzumaki.
Turanox? What the hell kind of name? It sounds like a human trying to racistly come up with a name for a Turian baby.
Xemonos like Naruto seems interesting. That is from one of the reviewers. Lovely. Okay. What is the Wuji of the Void? Is reborn into another world. Naruto's incomplete soul thirsts for vengeance. Illusion peace will shatter as the Void. Fire Emblem Fates arc.
Please leave Fire Emblem out of this. Fire Emblem already has enough narrative issues. Please don't subject it to your shitty writing.
Rise of the Dragonborn. Hair of the Deathwing. Suffering from writer's block. If you're suffering from writer's block, maybe you should stop fucking writing new stories! Or at minimum, publishing them. That's good. Yeah, okay, yeah, we'll be covering your story soon, Devil Spidey, because this has just been a fucking wreck. School, work to juggle, so I'll do my best to update when I can. Cypher opened his eyes, blah blah blah, chuckle. He hated it instantly as he regained his senses, chained, wicked gods, and now he's defining the wicked gods, counterparts, evil counterparts of the gods and in myths and religions across the world.
I'll be back. This isn't worth our time. I'm just gonna go. I'm going to go take an actual piss before I start trying to take the piss out of this writer.
You okay there, Sneaky?
Holy fucking shit! By to way link please. There you go. Fucking kill me now.
Okay, not watching that stream.
Why not?
So they set up a station for the old PlayStation 2 Fist of the North Star 2D fighter.
Yeah.
And it's really slow compared to stuff like Guilty Gear and Blaze Blue and Third Strike. Yeah. So it's like, I was hoping for more hype, but this one asshole seems to only know how to hit 2 buttons.
Okay, so Cypher Naruto Uzumaki. We have no idea. We have no idea who the fuck Cypher Naruto is, but he started like 7 other stories that involve Cypher Naruto's kids, Cypher Naruto's Cypher wife, Hinata Cypher. Like a couple more stories with Cypher Naruto involved in them, but we did not actually find the origin of Cypher Naruto.
Are we sure it's not Cypher Origins?
No, because
do we dare look at that?
I don't think we do, but
we don't dare look at a lot of this trash. Several years later, several days later.
Tale of a boy who was born from twisted science. Yep, you're right. It is Cypher Origins, the Dragon Wars. Dragged into an ancient war between chaos and order to decide creation. Only Naruto can end this conflict. Non-chakra Naruto pseudo-multi-crossover. Fucking Christ. Anyway, so we now have the origin of Cypher Naruto. Apparently he's a test tube baby. Blah blah blah. Blah blah blah, I'll break you, you're a rogue, blah blah blah, your family will die. Blah blah blah, torture.
Unload stuff from the car. Max, blah, blah. Just make insulting comments for me.
I'm sorry, what do you want me to do?
He wants you to insult people.
Just insult the author.
Why do I have to insult the author?
Because I have to go help unload the car. Come up with some charming southern insults or something. I don't know.
I don't know. I think his work insults him enough.
Yeah, it does. Naruto Uzumaki, you are worthy. Fucking Christ. Jesus fucking Christ. Oh, God.
Takes all kinds.
You took my son, now I will take you! signified the war of grief as Cypher Jiraiya's bounty had tripled its worth. Fucking okay, so Jiraiya's apparently evil. Sobbed as Cypher Kushina, the Soul Empress. Fucking. Hold on. I am far too sober for this. Oh.
It might be time to clean out a flask and just start having a flask of whiskey beside me on Friday nights when I'm on the streams. Because this is painful. Like... Sneaky, you know me. I've got pretty low standards. I'm willing to give most things a shot.
Yeah.
But I only have so far I can be pushed with this kind of schlock.
Oh, God.
And
yeah.
I'm willing to bet it's one of those things like, he probably has one story that will appeal to me, but because of the stories we're looking at, I don't want to dig for that story.
Yeah.
Oh.
No, Jiraiya doesn't have a son. Kushina has a son that Cypher Jiraiya killed, which is Naruto, which is why he's being ripped apart by the evil mirror versions of our real-world gods. Named cringy as fuck names like Deus. We might be able to get Naruto back. What, is fucking Cypher Minato a goddamn necromancer? Yeah, no. Mirror version. Okay, so, yeah, there's apparently wicked gods, and they're the evil counterparts of gods from our world. And the big god, the almighty one, is called Deus, which means God.
I wonder if he took that from Future Diary.
It's possible.
Because Deus was kind of an asshole who just didn't think things through when he started the
We can't
war.
mix the unmixable. No, we can certainly mix the unmixable, but we certainly can't unsee it.
Well, no, here's the thing is, like, this isn't a matter of it being unmixable or not. It's just anything can be mixed with enough effort.
Yeah.
The question is, can it be done well?
No.
The answer in this case, probably
Human
not.
Reality World D432521 Chakra Shinobi version. I might become an alcoholic at this rate.
You should give Ricky a call. I'm sure he can give you some tips on what to use for situations like this.
Okay. Well, we're just gonna move on to Air of Deathwing.
You mean we're gonna move back to it?
Yes, we're gonna move back to the original thing that spawned this dumb fucking stupid ass shit. It almost looks like a ripoff of Marvel DC Universe bullshit so they can retell the story how many times they feel like it. Yes. It is a Naruto WoW crossover. Where the... Oh, Max, were you here for this part? The yin-yang part?
Oh, I was here. I had my mic muted because I was moving stuff around and digging into boxes and envelopes. So
Yeah, no,
I was here for it.
The most infuriating part of that, like I said, it's fucking the fact that he mixed up yin and yang and how they would look and what they would be represented by.
Let's see.
Like, the Yang dragon is white and is the holy dragon. Which is kind of the opposite.
Yin, in Chinese philosophy, the passive female principle of the universe characterizes female into standing and associated with earth, dark, and cold.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Earth. How about that? So we did get it right. Now we know.
Yeah. And Yang is associated with heaven, heat, and light.
Well, no.
I'm a little angry because I actually have seen people mix that up, and for some reason that ended up convincing other people that's how it's supposed to be. Because God forbid you do your research.
Yeah, no. Yeah. I mean, like I said, it's been a long time since I've read anything about it, and I did preface that this is just what I remember, and we all know my memory is garbo.
Yeah.
Want to be the yin to my Wang?
Yeah, no, Sneaky. The Yin Dragon is also dark, by the way, so I'm curious who fucked that up.
Yeah.
I'm curious who lied to you.
Why are we still on this?
I don't know. We are on the air of Deathwing now. We were waiting for you because Max doesn't know as much about WoW.
Okay.
And again, like, most I know is Leroy Jenkins and what I read in the comic series for the human king who had amnesia and found his family again.
Oh, that was a good comic series.
Yeah, well written, but just weird.
I do recommend
Vila was pretty cool.
The Arthas book. That's a pretty good book.
Oh, yeah. That's a good book.
Oh, but the problem is he doesn't know anything about Arthas. I mean, no, it does a pretty good job of telling you about Arthas,
yeah,
so...
No, yeah. It does a pretty good job of telling Arthas' story.
Honestly, you don't even need to know anything about Arthas. Like, you need to know that Arthas became a bad person. The end.
I can't believe that's not a Ruby character yet, and B, that's not a OC Ruby character yet.
Who?
What?
Arthas?
Yin.
Oh,
and then have them be paired with Yang.
God, oh, no, I wouldn't even do that. I just straight up give Yang a twin brother named Yin. Because Tai Yang just has a shitty sense of humor.
No.
Oh, by the way, Crow finally made it into the Chibi series.
Oh?
So I guess we need to rewrite the wiki because apparently he can turn into that crow. Even though he looked at the crow at the end of one of the episodes after telling us his semblance is misfortune, and I'm confused now. I don't know what the fuck's going on.
Wait, I thought Raven turned into the crow/Raven.
Raven has portals. I'm starting to think maybe Raven and Crow can both turn into birds, and this is just something that their tribe is capable of.
The Brandwin, yeah. Oh.
Yeah.
Will we get a yellow bird for Yang then?
Excuse me, Yang just turned into a bald eagle.
No, clearly she'd be a canary.
No, clearly she would turn into a falcon, Atin, so she can shout Falco Punch.
It's not Falco Punch.
Well, that or should be a mockingbird.
It's Falcon Punch.
An odd-colored mockingbird, but a mockingbird nonetheless.
Falco Punch!
Stop it. It's
not
Falcon.
Falco.
Falcon. It's Falcon!
But he pronounces it so weirdly.
That's because he's lighting his fist on fire.
Falco Punch!
Yeah, see, what you don't know, Sneaky, is he's not yelling like that to make it sound funny or intimidating. He's yelling like that because he's in extreme pain from sudden combustion.
And? That changes nothing. Check my profile on information on Naruto Uzumaki and the Cypher Project so you won't get confused with what's going on.
I'm already confused.
I'm still confused. Okay, so Cypher Project Cypher.
Can we please just move on?
D-Wars, Maelstrom Wars, Heir of Deathwing. So half of these stories aren't even written yet? No, they are written.
Okay, yeah, so the chronology of Project Cypher. Origins into Legends. Heir and Rise happen concurrently. The third is I guess supposed to happen concurrently. He never updated his
Wait,
profile.
Shinobi Lassie, Storm of the Revolution. His only finished story is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 books into his series.
Oh boy.
Oh yeah. That's the thing. Apparently, Storm of the Revolution is a sequel to something that didn't have a title at the time, so he hasn't updated his profile in a while, and he does have more than one completed story, but...
No, like Shinobi
3.
Lassie, Storm of the Revolution is the sequel to Cypher Zero.
Can we just please move on from this idiot's terrible chronology?
See, I cover your eyes!
No, Sneaky. Storm of the Revolution is the sequel to something else that is the sequel to Cypher Zero.
On a scale of 1 to 100, how dangerous is Reddit? Yeah, it depends on where you're going.
Yeah, I mean, it really depends on the section.
Like...
Our politics? Absolute cancer, don't go there. Our McDonald's? Absolute cancer, don't go there.
Our atheism? Absolute cancer, don't go there.
Our Christianity? More cancer.
Don't go there.
Don't go there. Any of the main subs? Pretty much also cancer, don't go there.
Except our gaming, that's just shitposts.
That is just shitposts. PC Master Race is also a decent amount of shitposts. Again, 404.
Still pretty cancerous, though.
Yeah. Yeah, there's not much that isn't cancerous on Reddit.
Oh, stay away from r/Dota 2. I love that subreddit.
Also cancer.
Stay away.
It's just shitposts. Only shitposts.
What's going on in the Tekken stream?
Shitposts.
Anyway.
At its most dangerous, though, at its most dangerous, you'll be frothing at the mouth with anger about how fucking retarded people are.
Or you'll be screaming, "Why is this allowed? I want to stab my eyes out."
Oh yes, our flat Earth. Yeah. 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 But Devil Spidey, don't you know that caves are just the root tunnels of the Great World Tree? So fucking dumb.
You know what? You know what? There may be people out there who believe in mystical space wizards. There may be people out there who believe Scientology. But at least they don't think the Earth is flat.
Oh. It's just a new level of stupid. Anyway. Split into 3 pieces, Yin Yang Regime, blah blah blah, perils, as Naraku Uzumaki, the darkness, the yin of Naruto's heart, faces the dangers of Azeroth as the legacy of the World Breaker himself. Be wary, enemies of Deathwing, the heir will bring forth ruin to all who oppose.
Gear when you should bring when interacting with Reddit, I would open up a Google Safe Search and carefully Google any subreddit.
Yeah.
The existence of a subreddit you may be interested in. Like, oh, I want to look at r/Hearthstone or r/Star Wars or anything like that.
Reddit Enhancement Suite's pretty good about that as well, because you can highlight a subreddit and it will tell you its summary.
Yes. Although that may not be adequate protection from the nonsense within.
This is true.
Also, be very, very careful when you look up subreddits.
Yeah.
Because you might get the porn version of that subreddit first.
This is true as well. There's like, I think last documented like 30 child pornography subreddits.
I mean, you won't get those without looking for those, but...
I mean, they're sometimes innocently named, so...
Okay.
Yeah.
You're probably not going to get that.
Yeah. What weapons and armor should you bring with you to go to Reddit? Well, you should bring your 9-gag helmet.
No, you should not. don't bring an Imgur flag either.
No, definitely should bring your Imgur flag. Make sure you tell everyone that whenever you post something, you say, "I'm from Imgur, so I don't understand." and they'll go easier on you.
Anyway, let's
Anyway, yeah, that's a separation, blah blah blah, painful, blah blah blah. High Crass Hell Dragon. One of the two ancient species of dragon. Use of science and cloning, ultimate monster of destruction. Wow, this is fucking edgy as hell. Childish Dream, prototype Uzumaki that birthed the original Naruto.
What?
What? Imprisoned by the word God, tortured him, assaulted his mind, forced him to absorb evil committed by mankind, got driven insane. Turn on, blah 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 blah. Wanted to turn him into Angra Maniu.
What's that mean?
Angra Maniu is the Persian god of the evils in the world. And what the Persians used to do is they would select someone from their village, and they would heap all of these sins and, evil deeds that they have performed in their lives upon this person, and then they would kill him. And they believed that was expunging the evil from their souls.
Basically, it's like what the Jews did, but instead of using, say, a goat, they used a person.
Yeah. Be a puppet to their games. Contempt for humanity. My contempt for this fucking story is growing. No one was innocent. And spare them from my annihilation. He would kill all of humanity. Deus was sending him to Kalimdor. He would use one of the dragon eggs to be born there.
This is just so bad. Ay, ay, ay.
This is so fucking edgy. What is this? Despite his appearance, new evolution, he must be trained well. What the fuck?
Can we please just move on? Like, this is trash.
This is, yeah. Alright. So, we shall now lay into fucking Devil Spidey's trash original fan-based fiction.
We can't say that it's trash yet. We haven't read it.
He uses center spacing. It's trash.
True. Yeah, we do need to talk about that.
Alright, Max, you ready?
You think Xenon would have learned by now that he can't put links in the chat.
What do you mean?
He tried again. All I do is use it in order to link images like this. Deleted link.
Oh.
Yeah. Is Spidey still with us for this?
I think so. Spidey, speak if you're alive.
Well, he's dead.
Yeah, I guess he's dead. I guess we can move on to not this story. I treaded in our world building section before on a scale of 1 to 100. Oh, fucking, what's the subreddit that acts like the real world is an RPG?
I have no idea.
I forget it, but I made a post there one time. Because it was a reincarnation. Basically, everyone in that thread RPs as if daily events are like patch notes and shit. And like, it's actually really funny. It's confusing, but it's pretty funny. But there was a reincarnation comment chain, and I said something about flies and being reborn as a fly or something. Oh, oh, that's what it was. I'm pretty sure flies are chaotic neutral.
That's an interesting subreddit.
I got like 300 upvotes for that.
Anyway.
Yeah.
Fuck you and fuck that subreddit.
That was just
okay,
like, why is this post so popular?
Okay, look, I do want to point out, thanks to r/Dota2, I have like 794 post karma because of Alexa the Creep Girl.
Oh yes, Alexa the Creep Girl, yeah. Flies are evil. I'm pretty sure the fly doesn't think that. Anyway, let's lay into his story. Every story has two sides. The world has changed. It began with Melchia, the legendary hero of Gaia, who threatened its harmony.
Are you okay, Sneaky?
I'm just abbreviating. I'm not, like, reading the whole thing out.
Okay, because, I'm sorry, your abbreviation sounds like a stroke, because you started getting slower and slower. I'm like...
okay. I mean, we can't do anything, but...
Faced many dangers, near-death experiences, peace... yeah. I know it's proper English, but I hate it when people start sentences with "and," even though I do it sometimes. I still fucking hate it.
It is something to be avoided as much as possible.
No, I still hate it. It's just, you know, I realize I do it, and, you know, I realize
do you know why you hate it?
It's
because those jackasses in going from elementary to high school, they're like, you can't do this, you can't do this. Then you get to college, oh, you could do, like,
fucking anything.
3/4 of the things they told you you can't do, you actually can do.
Yeah.
Oh, so they lied to me. Yes. Alright.
Chapter is read as Q. What?
Oh, you better not be telling us to read this like we're Q from Star Trek. Because...
we're not British either.
That is not
I almost want to take off the edgy banner, but at the same time...
I think we can take the edgy banner off for now.
We
can always put it back up.
This is true. Not fucking Star Trek. Oh no. Oh, you'll get along great with Calvin.
Oh, this is gonna be great.
How is Calvin okay? We haven't seen him in a couple of weeks. He seems to disappear for weeks
at a time. He did show up like 2 weeks ago. Whatever.
Well, that's just it though. Like, it used to be we had him almost every stream, and then at some point
well,
he started
you do have to keep in mind he is in Germany, and it is typically when we start our streams, it is typically like 2 in the morning.
Now, to be fair, he did show up consistently, but regardless. So if it's not Star Trek, how are we supposed to be reading this then, Devil Spidey? Because however we're supposed to be reading it, you as an author have not communicated the tone this is supposed to be read in.
It's the prologue, that's why it's middle spacing. Ah, look, boyo!
First of all, Chapter 1 remains middle space.
Look, you little shit!
Oh, calm down there, Sneaky.
We need to have a long talk about when and when you can't use middle spacing. The answer to that question is almost fucking never. You can never use middle spacing.
I mean, you actually can. It's just, it's obnoxious, and you come off as a pretentious git when you use it.
It's very pretentious. Unless you're writing, like, a poem or some shit.
Yeah, in which case, if you're not using middle spacing for a proper prose poem, get the fuck out.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's really no reason to use it ever.
Yeah, in a story itself, I think of every single book I have ever read, I don't think I've ever seen middle spacing besides maybe as a quick, like, line-long summary, maybe, at the beginning.
I was going to say, I saw it pretty often in, like, oh my god, the Redwall books, whenever there was a song or a poem.
Right, yeah.
Yeah, you see it all the time with songs and poems, because it's a good way to split it up. Yeah. Another time I've seen it is when it's like, here's a new being speaking, you know, like, telepathically or something. You know, one of those, it's not quite in my brain, but it's also not a vocal sound kind of deal, for those weird fantasy sci-fi things.
Author! Seek the Holy Grail, Arthur!
What? No, I'm gonna go. Fuck you, I'm eating Doritos.
Oh, Monty Python. Anyway. Peace, blah blah blah. Dark returned once more, there was no hero. And one prince, Yitravos?
Hang on, let me
Trevor.
look at it.
Trevor, son of...
Yitravos, I think is what it is going for?
Trevor, son of Maradondor, had enough living with the dark and went seeking for the light. Ugh.
Despite how weak it appeared to be, on his search, he'd found the Acadians. Oh boy.
What are the Acadians? Delete this now.
No.
Okay.
No.
So... Okay, what is this supposed to be? This is supposed to be like his own proper story?
No, what I'm confused... Yes, this is his own story. What I'm confused is, who's exactly talking in this story? Like, is someone telling this prologue? Is the prologue a summary? Is it...
Based on what is written, this is clearly supposed to be someone speaking, but that doesn't become clear because until you actually get to the end
I'm called the Chronicler, and let me tell you my story.
But again, you need to... You could make this entire thing ever so much clearer. Just move, I'm called the Chronicler, and let me tell you a story. Move that to the top. Start with that.
Yeah, no, definitely start with that.
Yeah.
I mean, that's why I introed our Dark Souls story the way I did.
Because you needed to establish...
I had to make it, I had to make it established that it was someone vocally, well, not vocally, but you get the idea, narrating the story. And it wasn't just like something written down in a book. I mean, it is written down in a book.
Yeah, the narrator is its own character. The narrator is not the reader.
That there is someone narrating the story actively. Weird.
But it's an okay guy.
Should I bring 10k of Lycosium, Barium, and Terranium? I don't even get the references, but sure, go for it. But what I do get is that right now, during the Prime Day sales, you can buy uranium directly from Amazon. And if you buy 2 pounds of uranium, you get a free radiation suit.
Do you also get a free listing on the NSA's terrorist watch list?
No, but I'm certainly there now.
You were already there. Anyway,
you traverse and understand, heard stories, ancient race, battlefield, queen of all, understood words. Men showed signs of anxiety and tension, could be bent to the witch's will, the Arcadians
Amazon, no!
Are you going to buy yourself uranium?
I can actually buy uranium ore.
I wasn't kidding! I was being serious! You can actually buy uranium ore on Amazon!
For $39.95, I can get myself, that's probably about a 6 to 10 ounce tin. Oh my god.
What? You think I was lying?
Why are we spending our time...
No, Sneaky, I thought you were lying about the Prime Day sales, but I was curious about the availability of uranium ore on Amazon. And there's only one plot. Never mind, there's earth uranium oxide. Never mind. Hey, does anyone want a 100-gram ingot chunk of bismuth?
Not really!
I mean, why would you be sending me a chunk of bismuth?
Anyway.
I think I'll be sending this to you.
Why?
So...
Here. Oh, it's not bismuth. It's something else entirely.
A bunch of people that can resist some queen
Do not send
who brainwashes people. Think ye can't unicorn
Unless you can get
meat.
it to me within a week.
Wait, why is keywords uranium in there?
I don't know. That's why I'm confused. Oh shit,
Anyway.
wait. You can still sell uranium nitrosum? Really?
See how much potassium sulfate you can buy.
Stop getting us on terrorist watch. Please.
Oh, they've got 10 pounds for $25.
Excellent.
And you are aware you can just buy potassium sulfate for fertilizer, right? Like,
yeah, I can also.
I could go. I'm pretty sure I could just go to.
I'm called the uranium god. God damn it, Devil Spidey. Brought forth giant golem. Arcadians were outmatched. Arcadians managed to catch creatures by surprise and cut it in half.
Okay, how'd they go from being outmatched to cutting it in half, boyo? You gotta go into a little... I understand that this is like a guy trying to set up epics, and he has to set information up before that. But you can't just be like, they were getting their ass kicked, but then they caught it by surprise and cut it in half.
Like, they caught it by surprise and killed it, I'd be like, oh, okay. But you're like, nah, they cut it in half, implying that they always could cut it in half. It's just the problem was it was ready for them.
If instead you make it like, if instead you just throw in a couple extra lines about how they had to fight an epic battle and it cost them many people.
Yeah.
That jives better with the narrative that you're generating, which is, man, this is really tough for them.
Right here, this little quote thing, either add a person, add a make-believe character at minimum that you're quoting, quote-unquote, if you excuse me pun, or just remove it. Like, if it's a real-life person you're quoting, put the real-life person in there. If it's a character from your story, put the character in there. Don't just have a quote at the start of a chapter.
Yeah. And it's really easy. You can just make someone up. In fact, they don't ever have to come up ever again, other than a few brief background mentions as some kind of amazing general or something, or a wise philosopher.
I mean, at least he did the proper thing. I'm scrolling through the story right now. It's only in front of the first chapter. I mean, yes, that is good. I guess you don't need to tab that part right there, but you're not a printed book yet. Anyway. Blah blah blah. On Arcadian mirror repeated those words. Okay. So if he's repeating those words in front of the mirror,
doesn't mean we're like dismissing. It's just we're not here to give this a thorough read.
Okay, so if he's repeating these words or something, I mean, like, is this a quote? Like, the way you have it positioned, it looks like a quote. So either if it's something he's saying, add quotation marks to it. If it's a quote from someone, add quotation marks to it, and then add the person. Right now, it's just a little awkward for me, but
yeah.
Repaired the greaves, tightened the belt, shirt, missing, provide them later, surveyed the beds, brethren, certain task, trial of fire, no one returned. After a certain task named Trial of Fire, no one returned to their bunkers.
Yeah, that's
a very awkward sentence.
And you can make it significantly less awkward by just saying, but one by one, after a task named the Trial of Fire, no one returned to their bunker.
I mean, you really don't even need that. One by one, you don't even say after a certain task named. Like, one by one, the Trial of Fire made them not return to their bunkers or something, like...
No, that's still pretty awkward sounding.
I know, but what I'm saying is you don't need to have a certain task named.
Yeah, but that's what I was saying.
Fire.
You can remove said, but one by one after the trial, you can just say, but one by one after the Trial of Fire, no one returned to their bunkers.
Yeah. Wasn't bothered for being alone. He enjoyed silence, snoring, it all disappeared. He could be at will with his thoughts. Probably you mean peace or something.
Yeah.
Left the room. Academy. Faustus. Place. Occasions. Practice. I would replace Acadians with his people from now on. Like, after you first mentioned it at the top, now that he's, like, thinking this stuff of, oh, you know, ever since the Academy, it used to be a barracks, but ever since the king made a new one, it's now just living quarters for the Academy or something, you would replace it with his people. Because he wouldn't be thinking, like, you wouldn't be walking down from the military academy going, oh, you know, ever since the president built the fort over here, all of the American soldiers moved there. No, you'd be like, all of our soldiers moved there. All of our people moved there. Like, you wouldn't be thinking your species or etc.
Unless this person is very specifically not a part of it or thinks himself a part of it, in which case you need to establish that immediately.
Yeah.
Like, even before anything else, then you need to establish that they don't want to be there, or they don't enjoy being there, something like that. Like,
they make more useless languages. Excellent. Acadian. Is Vincent not an Acadian? See, this is a thing with languages and species and etc. Blah blah blah. If everyone here is a human or an Acadian, you don't call each other Acadians. You don't.
You don't.
Ah, human, you're awake. You're human too. Yes, human, I am.
Or, hello, soldier. It's good to see you awake. You're also a soldier?
Yeah.
Now, if this is like the school janitor or something.
Yeah, which is not, because he already mentioned that Vincent's a teacher at the academy.
Right.
Yeah.
Now, if he said, a student, or greeted the person by name, those are perfectly fine.
Yeah, that's fine. It's just, you really don't refer to your species by your species name. In dialogue, at minimum. Maybe if there's multiple species running out, like dwarves and elves, you would think, oh, in your head, oh, the humans, blah, blah, blah. Maybe. But you wouldn't be like, hello, fellow human! Yes, fellow human, I am greeting you back!
Beep boop, I am human.
And, I mean, again, you can always say, oh, it's part of their culture, but that'd be a really wish-washy explanation.
I mean, it would still be acceptable because...
Yeah. Like I said, it's to be acceptable, but it would just be like...
I know, but but it's also the same argument I've got for people who have the arrogance to assume you can apply human morals to higher beings or aliens or whatnot.
Yeah, no, I get that.
Like, that was something I liked about Stargate. By the way, they handle that really well. Like, some of these species, turns out, we can apply our morals. Those guys, they'll kick your ass if you try and shake their hand, because it's a sign of aggression.
Oh, yeah.
It's like, oh, alright. You guys handled that pretty well.
Yeah,
Only other science fiction could do that.
I mean, that is a problem with science fiction. Again, obviously, I had this conversation with Atin off air. Typically, people can only apply what they know when they're writing. Typically, like I said, typically.
And the same applies to readers as well.
And you can tell when it's sort of forced, or you can tell what the author actually does know when they're writing something they don't know. Because you'll see it somewhat relate to what they do know. Yeah, like, Kor's a good example. He's a good writer, but you can definitely tell his magazine writing influences. You can definitely, see his biases when it comes to certain characters and their relationships. You can definitely tell with his characters how he views them outside of his stories.
And I'm still waiting for us to get a story in which John is not a liar, which we'll never see, because he's admitted that's the only way he likes writing John.
Yeah. I mean,
anyway.
I sort of like his new upcoming story. When the fuck are we getting that, by the way? Is that this Sunday? Yeah.
Yeah, it should be this Sunday.
That looks to be amusing. Maybe even though John's a liar in that one, it looks to be amusing simply because it's a Kingsman parody.
Oh, it's a Kingsman parody.
Yes.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Okay, that might actually be really, really interesting. But that's beside the point. We are here to continue.
That movie was fun, but it was bad jokes.
That fucking ending.
That ending was one of them. It's like, I want to laugh, but this is really awkward.
I'll admit, it did make me chuckle.
What are you doing, Devil Spidey?
What's Devil Spidey
What
doing?
horrors are you enacting upon this Google Doc?
Oh, lordy. Lordy. Cease immediately.
What have you done?
You drove him to this, Sneaky. Accept responsibility.
You did tell him to delete it.
I was hoping he would delete it, not make it worse.
Oh, Sneaky, you should have known better.
I know.
He follows us after all.
I know.
He's gotta be as jaded as you.
I am space exclamation mark. Oh, sweet summer child.
Oh, is this the first time you're noticing that a lot of every time there's an exclamation mark, there's a space between it and the word?
Say, we need to give you a grammar lesson.
Oh, there's a question. There's spaces before question marks too. Oh,
Sneaky, I think there's a triple space between punctuation and the next sentence in a couple of spots. Not a double space, a triple space.
Oh boy.
Spidey,
those are double spaces right here as well. Those look to be double spaces.
Used to. Right here. Spidey, how long ago was it that you wrote this
I used to make spaces after point marks, but I did have learned my lesson. You currently did have not learned your lesson.
Because they are still here.
Yeah, alright. Okay, come on now, Sneaky. You're just as bad.
I know, I'm just mocking how he said it, but I did have learned my lesson. While he's saying that he improved his grammar.
Hey, my grammar am's perfect, and you can fuck yourself.
Devil, why are you bad at English grammar? Yes, tell us, Devil, why are you bad at English?
Why did you have to bring racism into this, Sneaky?
Whoa! Whoa! Holy shit, Atin, you are the one bringing racism into this.
Really? I am.
Yes.
You went for English.
Okay, anyway, I am still in position. Brothers, king will happy be obliged. Serve your hand. Brothers are... Vincent knew the answer. Hesitated, some definitely. Stutter. The Acadians. So, they're both Acadians, but for some reason, Vincent's referring to the species name when he's talking to one of his students.
Yeah.
One has to dabble in the weird to understand it. Well, I mean, you are a quark. Trial of fire. Inform me. Second part. Waste time. Careful with words. Follow your orders. And if there's orders say I'm supposed to die, I'm still supposed to follow them.
Yeah, technically, yeah.
Technically, yeah.
I mean, if it was in the contract, you literally signed up for it. So.
Acadian. Again, you just said Vincent was human. Yeah, no. Some definitely a stutter. The Acadian said nothing afterwards, but took his words as a lie. Either way, the trial of fire is set in two parts. So, Vincent's an Acadian, but he's referring to his student by the species name. Anyway. 2 different colors. What? Notice the colors 2 eyes have. Okay, so he has a heterochromia.
1 second. I got a phone call.
Okay. Okay. Then if he's not an Akkadian, then this sentence becomes really awkward. I mean, I understand that now that you say he's not an Akkadian. I understand that when you say the Akkadian, you're referring to the student. But then the sentence is awkward.
Yeah. If he's supposed to say something back and he doesn't, then the character who's expecting a response needs to remark on that in some way, immediate. Like,
yeah. So then technically it is not incorrect because blah blah blah. How English language works. Then it's just confusing. Yeah, heterochromia. Blah blah blah. White and black. I will give you a warning there. That is a bit edgy. Eye color. Actually, eye color is important when it comes to light collected by the eye to see. I believe blue eyes are better at seeing at night. And
because that's why there's so many of us.
And green eyes are better than blue when it comes to seeing at night, I think it was. But that's not the important part. The important part here is that eye color actually does things besides be a color of an eye.
Also, whenever someone includes a character with heterochromia who's a main character, it often reeks of desperation to make the character feel unique. Like,
yeah.
Oh, let's give them this super unique feature, and then there'll be a unique character. That's not quite how it works.
Again, though, but unless you specify there's like some sort of magic involved with the heterochromia.
But again, otherwise it's just like I'm gonna make
it's a bit edgy.
Different.
The way you have it right now, and the way it's currently written, and the way someone who's just reading the story would understand it, it's a bit edgy. Like, oh, his eyes are white and black, reminding everyone of light and darkness. First off, the eye that's white. Sorry to interrupt you, but the eye that's white would reflect.
He's blind.
Well, it would just reflect a lot of light, so you would have really poor vision in that eye.
Yeah.
And the black eye would collect a lot of light, so you would have really poor day vision with that eye.
And even leaving those aside, like,
differ an Akkadian for a human.
Completely unnatural.
So the thing is, you can hand wave away. Oh, all of this species have heterochromia. I'm not saying you can't do that. I'm saying that's totally fine. You can wave that away. But make the heterochromia believable. Make it, green and brown. Make it, red and yellow. Make it actual eye colors.
Red and
unless,
yellow
again,
eye
like
colors.
I've said previous, no, red and yellow are eye colors of non-human species, but they are eye colors.
Yes.
But yeah, make it believable unless, like I said before, there is magic involved, and you make sure to say there is magic involved with the heterochromia.
Yeah. Like, if it's because there is magic involved, then you need to specify there's magic of some kind.
Yeah. Yeah, because non-realistic eye colors don't make sense. Again, like I said, unless magic is involved. Then people will be like, okay, yeah, magic involved, sure, but they can have a white and black eye.
Like, no one questioned, oh, the Sharingan's red and black. Like, clearly this is a magic eye.
Yeah, there's stuff going on there. Then you have in-universe rules, and people will accept it. Suspension of disbelief not broken. But if you're just like, oh yes, they all have heterochromia eyes. However, this one's heterochromia eyes are white and black, reminding people of lightness and darkness. That is not recommended. Yeah. Anyway, so moving on. Sunlight blinded them. Bruma. On one hand, yeah, you can use Bruma. It's fine. On the other hand, there was a very well-known fantasy city named Bruma from a very well-known series.
As a general rule, it's best to try to avoid references like that.
And even if it's not a reference, you know, people will see it as one, basically.
Because unfortunately, like, regardless of what anyone does in this day and age, if they have a glowing sword made of energy, it's a lightsaber.
Not only that, I found out weeks ago that Bruma was in Elder Scrolls. Yeah, that's a. Anyway, the thing is that you can get away with having city names be the same as another, series of the same genre you're going into, if it's like, oh, it's based off of this language, and the city's name is the City of Death in this language, because, there's going to be City of Death in every fantasy story eventually.
Yeah.
And, if you and the other author were like, oh, well, what's Latin for City of Death? And then you mash the word together. I mean, you can't blame either person for doing that. That's fine when the name overlaps.
Yeah.
But if it's a unique name like Bruma, which doesn't mean anything to my knowledge, and isn't a reference to anything, then people will assume it's a reference to Elder Scrolls. Bruma is based off of a friend's name. But people won't know that.
Yeah, that's the unfortunate thing. Like I said, even if someone doesn't make a lightsaber in a video game, if it's a round glowing energy sword, it's a lightsaber, whether they intend it to be or not.
I mean, even if it's not a round glowing energy sword, if it's just a sword made of energy in general,
it's like that or Halo, basically.
That or StarCraft with the Protoss Templars.
Well, I mean...
Sorry, Zealots.
I mean, that's
Templars.
psionic energy.
Yeah.
I mean, come on, what was the first thing literally everyone thought of when they saw the, quote, Templars in the XCOM trailer? It's like, they stole Templars and gave them elite energy swords, which is...
Well, Zealot... I thought Zealot energy swords, but yeah.
No, because if you look at it, that is clearly the design from Halo.
I know it is, but it's on the wrist, like a Zealot from StarCraft.
I know. But
the point is they're taking from multiple series, and yeah. But yeah, no, like everything's pretty much already been done, so just assume people will typically assume a reference. I'm not saying you can't do stuff like this either, though. A good way to do it if you're making an original story, this goes for everyone. If you're making an original story, just type the names in to Google, and if you get like a result on the first page for something that's popular,
probably give it a miss.
Or just change it. Mandalore. I hope you're not changing it to Mandalore. If you highlight something, Devil Spidey, and right-click on it, you can click to add note, and then you can make a note in that section, and that section will be highlighted, and then you can write down, change this, name is similar to Elder Scrolls. You won't have to underline it, and then you'll come back to it later and be like, why did I underline this?
Instead, you can be like, oh, that's exactly why I need to change this.
Do you have anything to say, Max?
You guys are hitting pretty basic points that an actual editor would be looking at. So, sorry, an actual publisher, not editor. you got to get this past the publisher first.
Yeah.
Then you get assigned an editor if they like the idea enough, and the editor tears
I'm a forgetful
even
person,
more
just used to
into
underlining.
you.
Yeah, so like if you're a forgetful person, definitely highlight it, click add note. Made of wood, inhabitants, long left, calm lifestyle, other cities. It was a household for Arcadians who trained hardly. Who trained hardly to serve their king? Or trained hard to serve their king? Are they hardly working, or are they working hard? "7 years. King Faustus." Any reference to the actual Faustus? Young prince named Tristan. Academy. King sent him to the city. Alden. Peak Mountain. The Schnee Mountain?
No.
The Schnee Fields?
Keep reading.
You know, I'm thinking once
Who the
we all
fuck
get
is
a place
Faustus?
together,
Who the
we're gonna
fuck
be the
is
duck pit for him.
Faustus?
Poor Devil Spidey, he is having a bad time.
Oh, keep in mind, you guys have 14 minutes until your game starts.
Yeah, we know. We're gonna wrap it up. But it's Ricky, so he won't be ready on time anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you should be on time for Crowbar at least.
A crowbar's not gonna be on time either. The tragic history of the life and death of Dr. Faustus.
Well, she's playing Dota 2, so she might be on time. At the very least, she's back at her home.
Well, yeah, no, she said she would be home an hour before we finished. And that she is.
Anyway.
Anyway, like I've said before, always Google the names you use, just in case.
Because just because you haven't heard of it doesn't mean millions of people you used a generator.
Yeah. Well, yes. Generators typically pick from names that have been used. So.
That is the danger of a generator, friend.
I mean, there's no problem using names of actual people because, I've actually seen that used in stories, both fan fictions and actual fictions, to give the reader a preemptive idea of what their personality might be like. You know, if you have a king named Midas, or just a person named Midas, you have an idea of what they might act like without having to be told.
Indeed.
Or, you know, what's another name that people might recognize? That isn't Greek as fuck.
That isn't Greek as
What
fuck.
I was told about the names I have chosen are not fantasy-like. Well, I mean, they don't need to be fantasy-like. They're just,
Yeah. First of all, fantasy-like doesn't mean... Fantasy-like, that's a non-term. That
Midas is actually selfless.
Yeah, Arthur.
Arthur, yeah.
Robin.
That has too much these days attached to it.
True.
It's fucking elvish crap. Well, then you need to get to some other places. Thor, I guess. But that's kind of really unique, so...
Sherlock. It's still pretty unique.
Yeah, it's still pretty unique.
But yeah,
MacGuffin,
also, but like
yeah.
I was saying, fantasy-like doesn't mean anything. Like, here's the thing. The beautiful thing about the fact that you're writing a fan... Yeah, Joan. The beautiful thing about the fact that you're writing a fan fiction...
No, fiction.
Yeah, I'm sorry. The beautiful thing about the fact that you're writing your fiction is you get to decide what a fantasy-like name is.
Yeah, you don't need to
the
conform.
Bounds of reason.
Yeah.
As long as you aren't naming people Fart Sniffer McEggnobber, you're probably fine.
Yeah. Again, you always got to keep in mind the suspension of disbelief. is twofold. Suspension of disbelief will give way to in-universe rules if you specify them. However, once you do specify in-universe rules, the suspension of disbelief then covers those as well. So if you break your in-universe rules, people will typically even be angrier.
But you said X
Bodie McBoatface.
This is how X works.
Ice Pickle.
Is Bodie McBoatface a good name? Of course it is.
King Bodie McBoatface, 2024.
Excuse me, that already happened in The Legend of Zelda Wind Waker?
It did. Yeah, it did.
Oh.
I'm really pleased with myself. My brain heard it, and it's like, I've waited.
I have waited all my life for this moment.
I didn't know it, but I've been waiting years for this.
Agni.
Yeah, but like we're saying, again, it's your universe. You get to decide what the names are. If you stick with normal people names, you can do that, because believe it or not, having normal people names will probably raise fewer eyebrows for people.
So
it's like, oh,
since we're already talking about names, is Agni have anything to do with fire?
I don't know.
His workshop closed. Had Johan nothing to do. Began his search for Agni. Remembered he had not asked anything about the rules. So is Agni in charge of fire?
Yeah, Agni is Sanskrit for fire.
I know it's Sanskrit for fire, which is why I'm asking.
Yeah.
If he's searching for someone named Agni, and if that person is in charge of the trial of fire.
Yeah.
Trial of fire. Find the location of Agni. Yep. Okay. So yeah, you did knowingly do that. I hope. Yeah.
Also, I do want to say, bear in mind when I was saying you can use normal names, you can also feel free to be as weird and wacky with the names as you want. I mean, for crying out loud. In Final Fantasy 15, in Final Fantasy 15, people tolerated their main characters being named Noctis, Ignis, Gladio, and Prompto. And those are beloved characters now. So as long as you write them well, the name doesn't really matter. People will probably like it.
Yeah, that's the biggest thing about writing is usually going to be character interactions. So focus on those. Focus on making the characters well developed. Like, you don't even have to make the characters likable, so long as you can develop them.
Gilgamesh. Gilgamesh from the Fate Type Moon universe.
Oh, you say, if you name somebody Gilgamesh, and I mean, yes, Final Fantasy certainly has something to do with it, but them being decently written Final Fantasy characters has a lot more to do with it. Because as we've clearly seen for Final Fantasy 13, just because it's called Final Fantasy does not mean people are going to like it. Lightning, Snow, Hope, Vanille.
Saz is okay.
I was going to say, Saz is being left absent from this list, because he's the only one who's a decent character.
Wait, didn't his Chocobo turn into a woman?
That was 13.3.
Okay.
The less said about that, the better.
Motorcycle women.
Oh boy, yeah, like I said, that was when I had to put 13 down. I was like,
that
all right,
was so fucking
we're
weird.
done here.
You know, that didn't even bother me, because I was a huge Transformers fan as a kid. But I liked the original idea of these things test you, and then they tested that one with lightning.
No, Odin tested her, didn't he?
I don't remember Odin testing lightning.
No, I don't think.
Yeah, whatever. Whatever.
But no, still, I could have accepted the women turning into a motorcycle if they, transformed into a motorcycle. But no, they're just transform. Our arms are now holding tires. But you can still sit on our bodies to ride us. And it's
and I was gonna
you're not a motorcycle, you're just two women holding on to each other with tires in your hands.
and the tires were part of your headgear. Also, they became a motorcycle seat by scissoring. Don't forget that part.
And that's where you sat, and it's just like...
It's like,
Japan!
There is so much wrong with this. And then let's not forget that Lightning's mount turns into a giant horse for her to ride.
Yes.
Centaur, wasn't it?
No, I think it's just
no,
straight up
it was
Pegasus.
just a horse, wasn't
It's
it?
just
It was
Pegasus.
straight up a horse, yeah. Anyway,
You know, I realized Saz got like the best end out of all the characters.
What, is Chocobo turning into a woman?
No. Why? Sneaky, is there something you want to admit here on stream?
By the way, Sneaky, I need to show you a picture of what she turned into.
No, I'm sorry. I need to know. Is there something you want to admit, Sneaky? You seem oddly fixated on the furry bait.
On the
furry
bait? Wait, I don't even know what she looks like, so you don't even get me started on furry bait. I was just making fun of it.
I mean, it is pretty damn stupid.
But like in general, like Saz's character design.
This is what she turns into.
Saz's character design, you know, pretty nice. His
Why though?
What the hell?
That's what it turns into. I'm not. That is the in-game model.
Fucking why?
Oh, and she also has access to the Canvas of Prayers for some reason, so she gives you side quests. By the way, that's how you get side quests in 13.3. Because you're the literal Jesus figure, you get to hear people's prayers.
Oh yeah, because that's what I want to fucking.
Japan.
But it like
we need to talk.
Pretty interesting weapons. Best of the characters, period, when it comes to writing and voice acting.
His motivation is completely understandable, too.
Yeah, I love his motivation. I'm a dad. Alright, fair enough.
To be fair...
Like, well, okay, at the start of the game, it was, I'm a dad. Later on, I'm sure it develops, but, you know, I gave in to
it doesn't.
Oh, it doesn't change from that. Oh,
no, Final Fantasy 13.3, apparently, Dodge has lost his soul, so you have to go collect all 5 of his soul fragments and bring them to Saz. And Saz is like, I've been looking for 300 years for my son's soul fragments. One of them is literally outside of his house. The other one is about a 5-minute walk.
Are you?
And then, to be fair, then Chocolita has one of them.
They named his chocobo Chocolita.
Yes.
Japan, we need to talk.
Oh, and her voice is super perky too.
Oh my god.
Super perky.
Why not chocolate? Because she's not black, Devil Spidey. Don't you know how Japan does this?
Just...
Chocolate is so much more original.
I mean,
now that's arguable.
You know what I would have happily played.
But I forgot the best part about it, Max.
That's right.
So you get all the fragments together and you bring them to him, right? You put all the fragments back into Dodge, but he doesn't wake up because his son lost his soul. He's become angry and serious and doesn't have any fun anymore, and his son is scared of his dad. So he has to learn to have fun again before Dodge will wake up, and it leads to an incredibly creepy, awkward cutscene.
Is the female chocobo woman involved in said cutscene?
Yes. Not the way you think, but yes.
Son, me and your new mom need to give you a talk.
About what happens when a man loves the bird that lives in his afro.
Right. So, Saz goes from the greatest character of Final Fantasy XIII to the most tortured character in Final Fantasy XIII.
Yes.
No.
And Devil Spidey, you are incorrect on so many levels. White chocolate is shit.
Yes.
You shut your whore mouth.
You very well know that female chocobo is for fanfiction writers and their crossovers, and for all the weebs out there who want a body pillow.
Max, I'm sure there is, but find out how creepy they are for us.
What?
Her name was
Chocolina. CHOCLIA.
Google, I don't want Chocolina bodybuilding. Why did you even do that?
Okay, that's
Wait a
questions.
second. Okay, you know what? I don't usually do this, but Okay. How scared am I gonna be here? Clicking into this website after...
Oh, there's a website!
Oh! There's only like half a dozen Rule 34 pictures of Chocolina that exist. I think the internet was insulted by this thing.
Wow!
I mean, it is pretty damn insulting.
I am impressed.
Fantasy
the internet was so offended over this clearly bait pick girl thing.
Oh my god.
Here, I'm gonna drop something in the chat that I think everyone should go watch. Well, first I'm gonna drop it here. I'm gonna drop it in recording for you guys, just in case the link gets deleted. But
every game sends. Oh yeah, I've seen this guy. He built himself up pretty well.
Probably go watch that. It's pretty funny.
Yeah, well, my problem is that he keeps making 30-minute, an hour and a half long videos. Like, I want to watch it, mate, but at the same time, it's not like 10 to 15 minutes and done.
Yeah, but to be fair, some of the stuff, I mean, you cannot quickly dissect all the nonsense in 13.3.
Okay, so let us return back to the original topic of this trash fiction story. Just kidding. It's not absolute trash. It's just...
I was gonna say, it's a step above most of what we see.
This is fair enough.
Well, do you know why?
Because it was written by someone who wasn't retarded or an edgy teenager?
No, because it's not a fan fiction. It's not based on anything written prior, so we don't have any actual standards going into it, aside from basic English standards. And he's meeting most of these. He's meeting he's meeting the bare standards. Yes. So at the very least, this is not a garbage fire that needs to be tossed into an even bigger fire.
He waved his hands, let him continue on, chills. Busy as he thought. Nice to him. Past walls. A howling wolf. Famous portraits. Eyes. Legendary hero of a werehog. Faithful sword. How could a man survive such a creature? You didn't give us any idea. You're introducing a new fantasy creature, but you're not giving us any idea of, like, their actual level of danger. Oh, how could he survive that? Okay, is that a how could he survive that for a normal person? Or is that how could he survive that for a legendary hero? You know, like, you're not giving us a good basis of threat level here. Is it dangerous for a normal Arcadian? Is it dangerous for soldiers? Is it dangerous for legendary heroes? No, you know, like this would be a way to be like, okay, you know, caught his eye was the legendary hero holding the claws of a werehog with his bare hands, his faithful sword near his feet. Truly, this exemplified how extraordinary this man was, or something. Any normal soldier would be caught dead due to this dangerous creature. You know, this would have been a good chance for you to both A, elevate the hero that may or may not exist, and B, describe the threat level for the average person in this universe. Anyone else have anything to add on that one?
Not really. I mean, you've hit the points we needed to cover.
Yeah.
Library, castle, no door, cold, scribblers. Scribes. devil spiting. Scribes. There's already a word for that. It's scribes. Unless they're children. Then they are scribblers.
Yes. Now, if you're trying to insult the scribes...
Yeah. Scribes, damn. Stood out, not being female, recognized her. She lifted from her seat and approached him, and the two looked at each other without saying a word. Her eyes were yellow and magenta, not as strong colors as the Arcadian. But you just said she's also Arcadian. You can't use a species name if they're both Arcadian. But still recognizable as one of him. Is she a clone of him? And anyone got anything from me there?
No. I really don't have anything.
Yeah, so that's just an extremely awkward section with very awkward wording.
Yeah.
You mustn't be here, she scolded him. Please, and you should, he scolded her back with a glare.
Not knowing why she was there of all
This is just very confusing. Like, we have again, before you start saying stuff, you have to make sure the readers know there's some sort of basis. Like if she's not supposed to be there...
they're in the restricted section of the library. Boom.
One of them stood out not for being female, but you don't explain why they stood out. Like, there's many scribblers there, some studying, others reading, but one of them stood out not for being female, but the Arcadian quickly recognized her for being an Arcadian. You never finished your thought right there. So you said she stands out, but not for being a woman. And then you started another thought of him saying, oh, hey, she's an Arcadian.
Unless you're saying she's standing out because she's an Arcadian, but then the problem with that is you have not established a reason why an Arcadian would stand out.
Yeah, you haven't described to us the Arcadians at all yet. So if it's like, oh, the Arcadians are very militant, so it would be weird to see them as a scribe or reading. I'd be like, oh, okay, that makes sense, I guess.
Or they have oral traditions, and so they think books are evil.
Yeah,
and they play,
or they played too much Darkest Dungeon, and books are evil.
Books are evil, but moving on.
And I'm not quite sure why her eye color strength is relevant to being an Arcadian, since you've not established the colors as being important, magic being involved, or any of that. All you've done so far is establish that heterochromia means that they're Arcadian.
And that's pretty hard to tell from a distance away. Like,
yeah, unless you're like right in their face, you're really not gonna tell someone's definite eye color strength. You'd be like, oh hey, those are green eyes. You get closer, those are very green eyes. Oh hey, those are brown eyes. Oh hey, those are actually hazel eyes, now that I'm very close.
Yeah. Like, oh, those are blue eyes, but then you get closer, it's like, oh, those are very pale
gray
blue
eyes.
Or dark blue, or...
Yeah. You gotta set some sort of bar beforehand, otherwise people are just gonna be really confused. Which, I mean, you don't always have to explain everything, but if you have the narrator start the chapter by saying, let me tell you a story about the Arcadians, you've done a lot of storytelling, but we still haven't learned anything about the Arcadians besides this one guy who has white and black eyes, goes to an academy, and all of his peers have already done the trial of fire.
The entire chapter would go better if you explained all the stuff we need to know about the Arcadians before. Are they super magic users? Are they super swordsmen? Are they mind people?
Yeah, because you've already established the chronicler as a character in of itself, you could have used the start of the chapter to be like, let me set the the setting, let me set up the background for you or something like that. It started back in blank year. The Arcadians were known for their military might, or etc., etc., blah, blah, blah. In the city of blank, they have an academy where the students undertake the trials that graduate them to full soldierhood or something. Where they then serve under King Blank and blah blah blah. And the city was good, the city was bad. The times were good, times were bad. And so then let our story begin with the last student of his, group, of his peers, of his peer group, leaving the academy for the last time or something like that. King McGruffin. Yeah, exactly. Sidetracking is okay at the start to explain the background, especially if you already have a character who's saying that he is the chronicler and he is going to describe a story for you.
Like, in fact, it was perfectly acceptable for that character to get sidetracked. Because...
Yes. And then you could have been, like, at somewhere down the line of the info dump, oh, right, I'm getting sidetracked, where was I? Yes. It starts with whatever his name is.
Yeah.
It starts with whatever his name is. When he woke up on the day of his trial of fire. And then you intro straight into the story out of a narrative, vocal text kind of way into a written way. That would have been a better way to introduce the story and introduce how we should be setting the bar for these characters, introduce the rules of the world. Obviously, this would work less if you remove the chronicler as a character or as an intro. But because you have, and I don't know if you're going to keep it, but because it is right now, you could use that to describe the world. And it would make sense.
Yeah. Anyway, let's finish this up.
We gotta wait for Crowbar to be done playing Dota.
We still gotta start finishing this.
Oh, I know. I was just gonna keep going until Crowbar is like, okay, I'm done.
This
is gonna be our last story.
Yeah, but okay. Like I said, moving on though, because we have been on that for a while.
It's not like we have anything to set up. Like once we end this, we're just gonna be like, okay, I opened my browser to the Roll20 page.
She looked around and dragged the Acadian to an empty corridor. Again, we've already covered why she wouldn't be saying that. And showed him she held a dagger on a waist if necessary.
I guess, is she threatening him there? That'd mean treason. He told her, reminding her that an Arcadian can never hurt another for it would result in death? What?
Okay, so this is something super fucking important about them that needs to be established well beforehand.
Yeah, like, are they not permitted in the library? Is only she permitted in the library? Is she trying to sneak into the library and she's fearing that her cover will be blown because he's in there? Because she kind of blew her cover, if that's true, by dragging him out and threatening him with a dagger.
And also, you need to establish a very, very good reason for someone who's a member of a race, an order, a teaching, whatever, that presumably they've been part of for a very long time.
And then you continue with a very confusing conversation. With, there's nothing for you here, don't be here. The reason for me being here is not to bother you. The reason for you being here doesn't concern me. I have not come for you but Agni? Who's talking here? Is he continuing to talk? Because you started a new paragraph, which typically indicates someone else talking. But then he continues? It's just really confusing who's talking at this point, because you've started 3 paragraphs of dialogue, but it seems like he's saying all 3. She knew why he came. There was no stopping him. Why would she stop him? You haven't explained that either.
Yeah.
You know, if you're trying to like foreshadow, oh, maybe the trial of fire isn't what we thought it would be, maybe it would make a bit more sense if we knew anything about what it's supposed to be or what the readers are supposed to think it is. Because all we know so far is that maybe something's up with the trial of fire, but it's something that all of his peer group has done. And that someone named Agni's in charge of it, and there's 2 parts to it. That's not a lot to work on. Like, if you had explained at the start of, oh yes, you know, the trial of fire is just another test. Do not worry about it. The more difficult part comes later after you pass the first part. Seek Agni to submit to the first part, and you're like, okay, oh, it's just a graduation test or something, and then you lead with the foreshadowing of maybe it's not that, maybe it's something else.
Or if you start with this is part of the graduation test, and after you complete the first part, you're in an in-between state. You're no longer a student, but you're not yet a master. I don't know what the setup is, but yeah. You're no longer X, but you aren't Y yet, so you have to be kept separate from both of them. That's why they haven't returned to the bunkers. And then you set up but maybe they're not showing up because they're dead, or dying, or whatever.
Or something's being done to them, yeah. Or, again, or you could switch it around. Foreshadow that maybe it's not something that we think it is. And then be like, haha, actually, it was completely harmless. And these people are just thinking it's not because they've never done it.
Say, yeah, it's just the students freaking out because they do a good job of information control, so they think it's something terrible. No, it's just a test. It's a test, and there's a party at the end.
Yeah, like Dragon Age Origins, the mage harrowing. That was a good job of information control. You thought it was one thing, it turned out to be another thing. You know, it was they did a good job with it. Inspecting one book after the other. And then, yeah, right here before we continue on again. Admitting defeat, she pointed to him where he needed to go and returned to her desk to resume reading. That's a bit of an awkward end to this conversation.
Like, apparently they're having a super serious discussion.
He walks into the library. She looks up, sees him, walks up to him, grabs him, drags him out of the library, threatens him with a dagger, goes, you shouldn't be here. He goes, I'm gonna be here. And then she goes, fine, go over here for the thing you're looking for. And then goes back to her desk and starts reading again? It's... Again, we don't. Does the character normally act like this? We have no idea. You know, does the character? Do these two know each other? If they do, and she normally acts like this, have him make a comment about just usual behavior from her. If it's not usual behavior from her, if they don't know each other, make him comment, oh, that was weird. You know, not even out loud, just in his mind. She tries to reason with him. Devil Spidey, I don't know what kind of arguments and conversations you've had in your life, but that was not trying to reason with someone. That was, I'm not quite sure what that was, actually. That was... Yeah. No social life. I don't have a social life either, Devil Spidey. My biggest interaction with people is this right now.
Yeah. But I do want to fix this. I do want to wrap this up because I want to get dinner. Yeah,
no problem, yeah. Okay, blah de blah de blah. We should be nearing chapter 2. Yep, we're nearing chapter 2. Blah blah, Fall of the Witch. Wait.
Nearing chapter 3, apparently.
Oh, we already... Wait, we did already do chapter 2, okay. Because chapter 1 was so short, I forgot about that.
Which is fine. Covering 2 chapters is no problem.
Okay, so
we can do the 3rd chapter.
Prologued it, yeah. I mean, we can always look at it again after he's done all the changes.
True.
Good luck, Xenon. Just remember, if anyone confronts you, say you're from 9gag or Imgur.
Don't do that.
Arguments I ever heard were my PC, my TV, or parents. I've lost against all 3. Well, yes, typically you do lose an argument versus TV.
Yes, it's very hard to win an argument against something that doesn't talk back.
Unless you have something to tell us. Blah blah blah, the fall. When a mere witch declared to everyone after killing 5 high kings of Gaia she was queen of everything. Why is unknown. Some scribblers have it, the affair of the princes. Okay, again, this goes back to the scribblers use. If you meant to say scribe, you meant to say scribe, that's fine. If you meant to say scribbler, which I have no problem with, knowing that the Arcadians were some sort of martial-based culture, it would make more sense to be more scoffy at scribes and call them scribblers as sort of an insult. And people will be like, oh, okay, that makes sense, yeah.
But, since you've established they're not supposed to fight people...
Or, no, they're not supposed to fight other Arcadians.
No, I mean...
But, like I said...
They're not supposed to hurt anyone.
Reminding
that the Arcadian can never hurt...
Another, for it resulted in her death.
See, the problem with that's super unclear, because that could be taken never hurt another Arcadian or never hurt another person.
Oh, yeah, good point. Found the Arcadians, turned the tide, defeated her. Read the part where mentioned to be stronger than 100 men killing his ancestors, false victory. A single Arcadian defeated it in the Suthner strike. Because the book lacked pages. Did the book not have any pages at all, or was the book missing
did
pages?
Rip pages out?
Yeah.
Gotta specify.
Because it sort of sounds like it was just a fucking cover. You know, all the pages in it were just gone. He was not able to read till the end. Lose page. One of the halves was sent to the farthest point possible, Peak Mountain. What?
Also, if you're using it as a placeholder, that's fine. But you have got to come up with a better mountain name than Peak Mountain.
Well, I mean, he can keep it, but it will forever be on the same level of the Shni field.
Yeah.
Which, in case you were wondering, Devil Spidey, Shni means snow.
I do believe Ricky is waiting on you guys.
No, is he?
No.
Crowbar's in a game. No, he said Crowbar's in a game. We're waiting for a bit.
And even if she's stopped playing Dota, she's still not in the chat. So.
Yup.
But we should finish this quickly.
We are going to be finishing this so Atin can go eat.
Yes. How dare I need food?
Shni.
I swear to God.
You plebeian. That fucking story. Oh, that fucking story.
Like, that's the level of thing I expect from a terrible video game.
Arcadian, okay, so yeah, you also have to explain as to, A, why he'd be reading this book in search of Agni. That, again, she pointed to it. What does this have to do with his search for Agni in the Trial of Fire? Was he supposed to go to Peak Mountain, question mark? Why is he reading it? Why did people take out the pages? Is there something going on here? Is this part of his trial?
Why is this forbidden?
Yeah. Plebeian. You plebe. Passing the gardens, young Prince Tristan greeted him, waving his sword, continued his shadow training. Arcadian. wearing his helmet. I hope you have completed your assignment. Followed by a nod by the Arcadian. Okay, because it's becoming so repetitive, I do recommend you telling us this kid's name and using it instead of his species name.
Trying to preserve suspense.
Yeah. Unless you're like, oh, it's actually the son of the demigod or something. Don't do what we did. Name the character and use the name. And then use stuff like the man. You know, if it is male, yeah, it is. The man. You can use Arcadian. I'm not saying don't use the Arcadian when you're describing him doing things. But you are literally using it like every fucking line. And they're just
It's repetitive.
It's starting to grind.
And that's going to annoy people very quickly.
The poor old Arcadians do not have no names. Okay. That would be something I would reveal at the start of the chapter in that intro section that the chronicler would be talking about before he gets to the story. Because don't do what we did. Don't leave people wondering what the fuck the main character's name is. Establish that he doesn't have a name. Establish that he's just known as an Acadian. Early on, because this is one of those rules that you have to get out before people's suspension of disbelief is broken by the constant usage of the species name instead of their name.
Yeah.
Or not even suspension of disbelief at that point. It's just tolerance.
Annoyed as hell.
If you're like, oh, they don't have names, they're just referred to by their species, then someone reading this will see the Acadian, and be like, okay. But we don't know that yet, which is where the annoyance comes from.
Like,
immediately tell the reader to get used to it. Yes, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. Like, if you just have him pass a random person on the street, being like, oh, look, it's one of those weird Arcadians. Aren't they not allowed to have names?
No, that would be very forced and awkward.
Okay, yes, but it'd at least be something. Can you think of a better way to do it?
Again, the chronicler, because it's already been established as a character. I don't know if he's keeping it or not. Oh, at the start, when he's talking about how his bunkhouse is emptied now of his brothers.
Mm-hmm.
He could make some passing line from the main character talking about how hard it is to ask about after one of his brothers because they had no names.
Uh-huh. There you go. That's fantastic. Alright, it looks like Crowbar's in the chat, so we better hurry up.
Alright.
Oh god, she's playing WoW. Sneaky, we have to hurry.
Am I meant to kill Agni? How come an Arcadian's in the library? Raise your voice. I did what I said to save your kind. Can want only give later. I must warn our king about rumors. Not of your concern. What the on Agni's location? Mentioned Peak Mountain. Sword. Gave it to him. Am I meant to kill Agni? Custom carvings on the sword. Sheath. On his sword. Magnet. Yes. It is what many have been ordered to do. I give you my sword, hoping you will succeed. No farewell, Vincent. Only shall be done. Sneaky fucked everything up, and the world was nuked by the uranium god known as Chocho something. Such a fitting end to this story.
Yep, we're done.
Alright. And with that,
we wish you all a good night.
Thank you for joining us tonight for Fanfiction Contempt Theater 9000. As always, it is archived on our YouTube page in the panels below, along with every single other one of these we've done. I know it wasn't quite exactly our usual shtick, but some variation is nice. If you liked this and want to see them live, join us at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Tuesdays and Fridays as we continue our adventures into the bowels of fanfiction. Anything else we gotta add on this one?
I don't think so.
Alright then. Sayonara. Ciao. Good night. Das Vendanya.